Hey everybody, welcome back. On this week's edition of Abando Fresh, I have a CEC or Kmart actually, Newport 52-inch GE vent ceiling fan, close mount GE vent ceiling fan. Um, and this is actually a very special fan, one that I've actually it's got some lore to it. And those of you who know the story of this fan or know like where this fan came from probably are really, really excited for this one. I know I am. But so this one was actually came from an abandoned hospital in Gary, Indiana. It was St. Mary's Mercy Hospital, and we're walking across the floor upstairs, of course, as soon as I start recording. But anyway, yeah, this came from St. Mary's Mercy Hospital in Gary, Indiana. Um, and that's not the like super special part, but I mean, it's cool that like this is from an abandoned hospital and that it was saved and everything. But there's actually a YouTube video on on YouTube, like from 14 or 15 years ago at this point, that features this very fan in it. It's by user SL Working 2. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. Um, I don't know if he's still active or not, but he used to have several videos where he would go and explore various abandoned. He was like a basic like URBEX explorer. I actually watched a few of his videos, I remember, but the one video that I remember watching the most was his video of the St. Mary's Mercy Hospital. And in his video, which was, like I said, 15 years ago or so at this point, the power was still on in the building. And they showed two ceiling fans. The first one was an Emerson Casablanca Classic Ornate, and it was running on high, I believe. And then they moved to another room, and they showed this fan. This very exact fan was running in reverse on, I think, high or medium, probably high. Um, and yeah, I think the power was cut to the building in the mid 2010s. It's like around 2015 or so, because the building was located next to the police department, which I remember from that video, the original video. And so they cut the power sometime in the mid 2010s, but I think they had to keep the power on originally because it was on the same grid as the police department, something like that. Either way, that's beside the point. But it was just interesting how they had the power still on, the fan was left running. So that's pretty important to the story of this fan because when the person who rescued this fan, my friend Rick, I think it was him and it might have been Stuart. It might have been both of them. I don't remember. I know Rick was involved directly in rescuing this fan, but when he got it, it was in absolutely horrific shape. Like the motor apparently was so bad, it was just completely seized up. Um, Definitely not surprised at all, but you can clearly see it's also pretty rusted. It's not in as bad shape as I thought it would be, honestly. I mean, it was in like an enclosed room, and like you can see in the original video, which I will link, of course, the everything is like pretty much still intact and everything, but by the time they got to it to rescue it, like all the windows had been all broken, the ceiling tiles were all falling off, so clearly had been through a lot between that original video, the exploration video was uploaded, and now. So very sad, but very happy that we were able to rescue it and that it's now in the hands of collectors. And like I said, the Casablanca Classic has also been rescued. That one is now in the hands of Rick or Dan. I don't know who took that one. But there were also a few other ceiling fans that were installed in that complex that were not featured in SL Working's original video. They probably just didn't explore that much to see those, but there were like a few of those old Mastercraft GE vents. I don't know if they've put any videos up on Dan's channel yet of those, but if they haven't, they probably will soon. I know that a few of them had broken blade arms, and those are all in pretty rough shape and like worse shape than these. But anyway, yeah, about this particular model, I do have a smaller version of this, the CEC Newport, but the one that I have is a 5-blade smaller version. I know they also made 4-blade 42-inch smaller versions. I think they did at least, but yeah, so now I have the big version as well. And this one did come with the mounting bracket. The other one I have did not come with the mounting bracket, so I now have a mounting bracket that is interchangeable with that one, I guess. Even though I had found one that worked, it was an Elasco mounting bracket. Yeah, so like I said, in pretty rough shape, but it is an antique brass finish. And the blades are stenciled, but if you notice, actually you can't really notice in the original video because it's running, but they were flipped over to show the plain side before, but Rick flipped them back over to show the stencil side. So, and I'm not sure if that pull chain extension is original. I'm assuming it is. I'll have to go back and look at the original video and look at the pictures again, but that is a CEC, a genuine CEC pull chain extension, so it probably is original. I just didn't notice in the pictures. But anyway, oops, let's not kick the camera. And now let's start the fan up on high. In forward. It was not making that cyclic hum before, so I'm not sure why it's doing that. Yeah. Definitely seen better days. But you know, for a fan that had been abandoned for 30 odd years, 40 years or so, and then sat running for like 20 of those years, and then just sat dormant to seize up and age, you know, I feel like this is actually pretty good for given the circumstances. You know, it's definitely not the quietest, but you know, not expecting much from that in that department. But you know, it is moving the air like it should. It's going pretty fast, you know. And that's not like that. This does have the regular stamped motor, not the cast iron motor, of course. It's a little bit later. So yeah, I think this is a mid-80s model. Not entirely sure. It's definitely post cast iron motor era. And that was the other thing, because St. Mary's Mercy Hospital, that's where Michael Jackson was born. And we were like, ooh, you might have seen these fans, but no, he was born in like 60s or something like that. I don't even know how old he is, but he was born well before the fans arrived, unfortunately, so he probably never saw this fan. But still very cool. So now, down to medium. I do hear a little bit of buzzing, and it's funny because I think I remember in SL Working's original video when it was running in reverse, it was making a bit of buzzing. Like I remember there was a bit of like that sort of soft vibration. It's medium. Low. So I also think Rick did some capacitor work to this one too. I don't entirely remember what he had to do to this one, but there was a lot that needed to be done to it to get it in operational shape at least again. He did a really good job. I probably wouldn't have been able to make it run again. It's low speed. actually quite quiet on low. Like a very, very little bit of bearing noise I'm hearing, but this motor is pretty, the motor itself is quite silent. All right, back up to high. And spin down. This probably is going to have a rather short spin down. I didn't, but I probably should have left it running just a little while. Just to know work in those bearings because, well, I mean, it's not like it hasn't been running for like 20 years straight, but, you know, just to get it, the oil or whatever, lubrication Rick put in it, worked around. Okay, well, actually, that was not as half as bad as I thought it was going to be. Still pretty quick, but, you know, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. All right, switch it to reverse and do low. All right. Medium. Oh yeah. It's making that same buzzing. Same exact buzzing sound it did. So this is basically how it sat for 20 years. Just like that. In reverse. Super cool. I'm so happy to have this. It's like a piece of history. And high speed. Yeah, looking at it, I'm pretty sure it was running on medium back in that video. Maybe, I don't know. Might have been running on high. The quality of that video wasn't the best. Granted, it was 15 years ago. So, that is... Alright. And now, give you guys an up-close view of this fan. So, you can see, like I said, in pretty rough shape, but the blades don't look terrible. Like there's some finish missing. This one's pretty good actually still. But the other, yeah, this one's I think the one in best condition, at least on the stenciled side. The other sides, well, the other sides were facing down, so these sides had like water and stuff dripping on top of them probably. But I'll also notice the blades are all a little bent upwards. Not sure why that is. It's acting like it's a Charleston. But so yeah, the finish, like I said, antique brass, but it's a little Obviously a little rusted. The filigree is all rusted on the side there. Nose is all rusted. This side isn't too bad where the reverse switch is. And then the pull chain is surprisingly pretty clean. Now let me see if I can show you the top and the tag and everything. Just stepped on the step stool and then fell right off. But anyway, there's your big close mount canopy. And you got informations. There, model number, I'm not sure if it's 52B is the model number, or 705A, probably 705A. But then the other interesting thing is, I think over here, is that it? No, that's the one that wore away. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It says Kmart. So I'm not sure if, I don't remember Rick's telling me that, but yeah, this was sold at Kmart, so that's interesting. So somebody from one of the staff members of St. Mary's went to Kmart in the 80s and bought a CEC for their office, evidently. So yeah, like I said, oh, and then of course it's got the stamp motor, which, yeah, it was like stiff, like completely stiff when Rick found it first, initially. Yeah, I don't know if I don't remember if the Casablanca Classic was stiff. I feel like that one just needed some cosmetic work done to it. But anyway, I'm not sure if I left anything out about this one. I got the whole story of it and everything and all the lore. So that is probably just about it for this video. So that is the St. Mary's, the famous St. Mary's CEC, 52-inch CEC or Kmart Newport G event from the St. Mary's Mercy Hospital in Gary, Indiana. So this is probably where this fan's story ends. I'm really happy to own this one. If I don't keep it, it'll probably end up going in the museum or something, or obviously to another collector, but obviously won't get put back in another abandoned building. So very happy to have rescued this one. Huge thank you to Rick for saving it for me, and Stuart for helping out, and Dan and everybody else. And a shout out to SL Working too for originally filming it way back in 2009 or whenever. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a happy new year, and I will see you in the next video.